Everybody, Lawler here as always. RLCS back in full swing for North America with Europe qualifiers going down this weekend. But at the same time, we've got our main event, and as everybody has always wondered, one, what are the matchups? How are they going to play? And how do they get there? We're going to answer all those questions in today's video, and we're going to do it very, very easily for you all. As always, if you guys want to stay up to date, make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Makes it really easy. Links to everything can be found in the description down below to the roster document. If you're having troubles keeping up to date on rosters, we'll cover EU and stuff in the next couple days. But these are our 16 teams that made it through the top 32 Swiss stage. Quick recap of the format for those unfamiliar. There is 4 stages in the RLCS. Everybody signs up. Europe has like 1,100 teams signed up. They will go through a massive double elimination tournament. Once they get down to the top 32, which is on Sunday, which we saw based upon recording this video yesterday, those teams will then split into 2 groups of 16 and play in Swiss. First to 3 wins progress through. First to 3 losses end up getting eliminated. If you are one of those teams, if you're one of the 8 in your group to make it through, you then go into what is the group stage, which is what is going down this Friday. This Friday for North America, these 16 teams are going to compete in 2 groups of 8 in a double elimination bracket for the chance to make top 8. And if they make top 8, then they play on Saturday and Sunday in an AFL weighted double elimination bracket, where the teams that are seeded in 1 through 4 have an extra life. Everybody else battles down, strength of schedule, all that kind of stuff. How did these teams end up winning? How do they end up doing? How do they get here? We're going to start with Group A. A couple things. If you guys have not watched my latest roster video, every NA RLCS roster change for Split 2, go and check that. This is not that video. I am not here to tell you what the new rosters are. There's videos with that stuff in there. Go check those out. We will talk about some of the important things. Obviously, right out of the gate, Gen G with Justin now instead of Reddles. We were curious on what they were going to look like. Everybody's been asking me my opinion of this team, and I can't really give you an honest opinion because I was covering a different team, so we didn't get to watch the matches that I deem important. I will say them against the new Space Station, who I have seen in scrims with Kofer. They look pretty much the same. I just think Kofer's a little bit more dedicated to the game right now than Frosty is, who is now going to compete for complexity. That's a tongue twister there. But Gen G, apparently their offense is looking pretty solid. We did watch them in the very first series against SimTalk +1. They had like 17 shots to 2 in the very first game, and then things kind of equalized from there. All 1-goal games for the most part, but Gen G seems to have a little bit more stability in their offense. Still pretty demo heavy, but not to the degree of what it was. Energy, perfect across the board. 9-0, didn't drop a single game. Obviously, the guys have been grinding because they were unsatisfied and falling into a bit of complacency. Space Station 3-1, their only loss coming to that Gen G roster. These are ones that are going to separate these teams. If Space Station wants to make the major, they have to win these types of matchups. Pobe continues their reign. They had a really good last Open in Open 3 and Split 1. Their only loss coming to NRG. Strictly business now with Eris instead of Simas. Looking okay. Nothing crazy, but sweeps against competition that they should be. That was something they struggled with in the first split when I was doing team streams for them, is they would lose and concede games to teams they definitely should be stomping. Na did a decent job of coming through. Again, if you guys don't know Na, Adam and Knight, they're missing Oath. Now they have Hazo. So again, another team that consistently makes top 16, but that's about as far as they go. SimTalk +1 with Tricky. I'm going to be honest, the guys did not look good. Mechanics and stuff were there, but there was times where they were just disconjointed. There was no cohesion. It was just 3 players who were capable of playing Rocket League at a high level, doing that, but not together. They had moments where they looked great, and then there's moments where they looked abysmal, and that kind of shows in their results. Ultimately, they do make top 16. Pure talent is the reason why they made it. That's it. And then deleted, a team that is systematic, structured, losing to teams that I don't think they should be losing to Schnitzelhaus. Buchel's score, again, Buchel's, as a reminder, is the strength of schedule. How did this team do in their wins and losses? Give them a number. How did this team do in their wins and losses? The fact that they had a -4 and they barely made it in is kind of oof. 3-0s though. Complexity with Frosty did win. Cobalt, if you guys remember Kevin, who played in the Apex with us, apparently Cobalt put up a pretty good fight against a lot of teams. They were super close to making top 16. Ultimates also looked pretty dominant. No issues there, continuing their post-Birmingham success. The boys, if you don't know, Percy and crew, basically all the leftovers with a bunch of talent. People joked in my chat calling them what could have been. Yeah, Percy, Evo, and Aqua. Basically 3 players that all have a ton of talent that just haven't lived up to the expectation due to whatever reasons. And yeah, only loss coming from complexity. So taking down stuff like 9 lives is not a joke. 9 lives right now in standings is in a pretty good spot. Shopify, I don't know how CJ does it. That boy is either having a heart attack or he's just depressed. Game 5 multiple times, reverse sweeps in some of those, and then when they lose, they got swept. And they lost to Evo, which is like, dude, Shopify, not a good start. Not a good look. They were frustrating to watch. So we'll see how they develop. Give them time. Maybe it'll get better. 9 lives with Zanil has been here and there. I don't think anything crazy. 3-1 is their standard. I do like seeing them beating teams that they're supposed to. Convincingly, too. Speed and the guys do find a way to come back in. Speed's got to do it up against Kevin in the Apex. It's a little bit of Apex rematch. If they do close it out. It was up. Bringing it back. They look like to be a gatekeeper team. And then Power Rangers, new iteration of them. Darklight, Hectic, and Mech. Mech is like 14, super young. A lot of talent. Cool to see that make it through. Some new faces making top 16 in Split 2. But what does that mean for results? What does that mean for the matchups? So we did the math. This is how it works out. So Buchholz has made it pretty dang straightforward, where it is sanctioned by your group. 1A and 2A, they're a group. 1B and 2B is a group. 1B will play 8A. 1A will play 8B, and it'll move through, right? The only time those things change is if there is things in regards to tiebreakers, if there is scenarios. So like Was Up and Power Rangers, both in the 3-2 stage, both have the same Buchholz score, so it goes with higher seed. Was Up, being a pre-existing team, has the higher seed, so they get the nod in the tiebreaker. That stuff is just easy plug and play. So all you're doing is you're taking the teams based upon their group, and you're pairing them accordingly. If you guys want to see the visual representation of this, I'm pretty sure it has already been made by Cody. This is what Friday's matchups are going to be. This is how things are going to play out. So we'll do predictions later in the week. On Thursday, we'll go through who we think is going to take it, who's going to win, who's going to make those top 4s, and see how things play out. Cool thing, though. Realistically, you should see these 2 win as the high seeds against their competition, which means we could get Reddles and Justin versus their former teams and answer the question, who is the one who won the trade? Who came out on top? We might be able to answer that question immediately. As we all know, upsets tend to happen pretty frequently. So if you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. If you guys want links to anything, let me know as well. But most of that stuff should already be in there. But that's going to do it. We've got a lot of stuff to cover this week in regards to predictions, recaps, tier lists, and kind of setting us up for the rest of the split before we end up diving into the breakdowns and kind of the nitty gritty of things. A lot of EU coverage as well coming up with them doing their qualifiers to figure out who their top 32 and top 16 are going to be this weekend. So we'll do what we can. We got roster information, all that kind of stuff ready in the coming future. If you want to make sure you don't miss out on it, like, subscribe, notifications, let me know down below. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.